Hi, this is Tarak. I held the business development Middle East, Africa, Eastern Europe for Fiorano. A brief introduction about Fiorano. We are in the middleware integration space and APIs. We've been in this industry for around 23 plus years, based out of California, Palo Alto. I'm based out of Dubai, heading the business, marketing, everything. And coming out onto the issues in the current industry with the financial vertical, banks, there's no connectivity or direct communication from the back end that is the core to the channels and to your third-party partners. So that's the biggest issue which I'm facing around Africa or Middle East or the Eastern Europe. So that is where Fiorano brings in our technology, which is best and proven. We have customers who are doing around 10,000 transactions per day, and customers are doing around 20 to 25 million transactions a day as well. There's a huge value attending Sibos, and which is helping connecting, and the value what we give add on to the financial institutions over here. Last year was very good. From here we could get around 2 to 4 accounts, wherein we solved their issues on the integration process. So there's a lot about, as I was mentioning, there's a lot of issues happening around on the connectivity between the backend, that is a core, to your end customers, which is your front desk. So Fiorano has patched in the existing old platform, the ESB plus the API management, wherein we've come across and bundled up on the PSD2 as well as open banking. So that is where we've added a lot of value. We've closed around 6 to 8 banks in London as well as Eastern Europe on this. So that's where we are helping the whole connectivity for the financial institutions, wherein Biju would add on a lot in those slides. These were great. We've had some few customers already over here, and then quite a few prospects who are really looking forward for the open banking.
So that's a really good question. In reality, PSD2 went live September 14th. The fact is, across Europe, there's a lot of, the readiness is not what it needs to be. In the UK, we just announced a 6-month adjustment period to allow banks time to kind of settle in and make sure everything's actually working before the FCA starts enforcement. We're seeing a very similar impact or effect across Europe. So absolutely, to answer your question, our involvement is still very, very active. I think it's in fact getting more and more busy now than we were the last 6 months, because there's a lot of banks across Europe who still have not done what they need to and are still kind of on those journeys. So it's incredibly busy right now. So that's also pretty good. It's a good question. So there's two sides to PSD2 and open banking. So on the one side, you've got the comply piece. So we as a company support banks globally. We support global guidelines, OBIE, UK, Berlin Group, STET, HKMI in Hong Kong. That's to kind of publish APIs and expose data. In reality, that creates problems. With PSD2 is enabling competition for banks, to the banks, doesn't help them. What the opportunity for banks is to really flip things over, consume APIs, and get more competitive, use data science, use intelligence to kind of engage better with customers. And they can do that now better than ever before, because there's a lot of data available through open banking APIs from their competitors. So there's two parts to this. So we are helping a lot of banks comply with PSD2. We're also really working, and the exciting piece is on how to help banks compete against competition in the open banking world. There's really two very, very different sides to this. It's been very interesting. So we've got a few existing customers who have spent time with us, and that's fantastic. There's a lot of new interest coming in. There are bank representatives across the world, as you can see. I mean, there's banks from China, Africa, Congo, Europe. So we've had some really, really good conversations. It's always great to be at Sibos.